Welcome to Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living Wednesday Inspiration Service. I am Reverend Gregory Toole. What a joy it is to see all of your bright, beautiful, amazing faces out there. Look at this one here. She's got the big smile. And we see your smiles out there online, too. We can feel you. We can feel your presence. We're all one and connected. There's no time or space in God. So thank you online for joining us as well. Let us begin with prayer. Let's turn within for a moment. And so what I know, and we can know together, is that there is just one power, just one life. No opposing power, just one power for good, one infinite self-giving divine essence that is ever giving of itself to all of its creation and through all of its creation. And so this good is just all constantly flowing, and it is the very life of my life. It is the very life of each one of us. Each one of us is an inlet and an outlet for this one amazing, infinite divine life, infinite power, infinite intelligence, infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite, all. It is the all, and it is all good, and that is our nature. And so we are that I am. We are an expression of that I am. And so I know this morning that this celebration service, that this service that we are engaged in is just a emanation of an idea, of a divine idea that long ago was awaiting for us to show up here today to allow it to be real, to allow it to be made manifest. And so we are the embodiment of this beautiful divine idea of something transformational, something inspirational, something opening, something healing. And so I just give thanks because I know it's already done in the mind of God, and that we are about to, right here in this moment, create, co-create, and experience some sort of amazing unfolding, because life is a miracle. Every moment is a miracle, and this one is the greatest miracle right here. And so in gratitude, I release this word, I let it be. I know it is good, and so it is. Amen. I don't know about you. I was having fun up here. So we do have a few announcements. The year's winding down, so in some ways there are, fewer things to say, but there's still a lot because we got a lot going on here at the center. And first thing I want to say is thank you to everyone who turned out for the Psychic Healing Fair. That was such a huge success, and the vendors were so impressed and so grateful for our staff and for all the volunteers. Like, they just felt so supported and taken care of here. And so many people came through here and had a good time. So I know that some of those people are coming back to be a part of our community, and that's exciting to see who is it that will come back because of what we did that day. All right, so I invite you to silence your phones if you haven't already, just so we don't have any disturbances for this wonderful miracle unfolding here today. And our labyrinth walk today, right after the service, you can go walk the labyrinth over there in Richelieu Hall. What a great invitation that is. So take that opportunity if it is of interest to you. This coming Saturday, 10 a.m., is a Vedic Astrology for Beginners workshop with Vish Chatterjee. I met with him. He's a really cool guy and very insightful, very knowledgeable. So there's even an invitation to go to his website and kind of get your Vedic chart done before coming to the workshop, so that in the workshop you can kind of work with that and get some really good, juicy stuff about sort of the kind of like the alignment of how things were aligned when you came into this world, which in our teaching of oneness, how things are aligned is going to say a lot about our beginnings and where we started on this journey. This Sunday, we have our discovery class. It is free. It is at 12:30, and it basically answers all your questions about the center, the teaching, who's Ernest Holmes, all the good stuff. And it's required to become a member, and I'm excited about handing out membership applications for people, because we're going to answer all your questions, tell you what it's like to be a member, and then give you an opportunity, if you haven't joined already, to join this beautiful center that we're all engaged in. Ecstatic Dance will be not tonight, but next Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be Ecstatic Dance at 6 p.m. over in Richelieu Hall. I hope you'll join us for that. A very freeing experience. The most free experience you can ever have, I think, with your body. I don't know, maybe there's something better, but I don't know, maybe. But it'll be great. And maybe that's like the next best thing, you know. I'm going to move along here. We'll have carol singing and potluck with our choir. Elise in the choir, our Joyful Waves choir, is going to host us in a carol singing, Christmas carol singing and potluck on Saturday, December 13th at 6 p.m. That's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. Who doesn't like singing Christmas carols at this time of the year? That's going to be so much fun. So there's no cost for that. Just show up, maybe bring a dish with you, and we'll have some food, we'll sing. I'm sure we'll laugh too. Women's Circle Christmas Fair and Potluck is the very next day, so you can have 2 days in a row of potlucks and just sharing food with community. And that Christmas fair, the Women's Circle Christmas Fair, was really successful last year. They had a whole bunch of great things to offer. You can kind of do a little shopping over there, have some food, do a little shopping. Sunday, December 14th after service. We're just all about the food here today. Vegan potluck will be on December 17th, Wednesday, December 17th, so 2 weeks from today at 6 p.m., and we'll eat some really good vegan food. And then we have our poinsettia thing going on, that we do every year, where you can purchase a poinsettia, and we'll have all these poinsettias around the sanctuary. You can purchase one in memory of someone special to decorate our sanctuary, and we'll post all the names of those people that you're honoring out there in the lobby, and it's just a beautiful way to honor our loved ones, as well as to decorate the sanctuary with beautiful poinsettias. Our Angel Tree Project is still going. We extended it by 1 more week because we want to give so much love to these families. You know, we got 40 families, maybe close to 200 individuals, and we're giving them $100 gift cards each so that they will just brighten their Christmas a little bit, So for those of us that have a little bit more to give, it's a great way to reach out and say, hey, we're going to make someone's Christmas who maybe is not having such a great Christmas or is not able to, celebrate the season in the same way that we are. So that's something apparently that's been going on for like 30 years here or something like that. And we're continuing it this year because that's a heartwarming, when we hear the feedback of the families afterward of what it meant to them. It's so touching. We'll all be in tears if we were to read some of the letters that come in. So there's still a chance to, you can give a donation of any amount actually to contribute to that, or you can just buy a $100 gift card from Target or a Visa gift card or a Walmart gift card and just bring it in by this coming Sunday. So let's have those families just feel so good that they are loved and cared for, and let's make their Christmas really special. Flyers for everything is out in the lobby. If you missed anything I said, or if you want more details, also our weekly e-newsletter, Spirit Speaks Magazine, all kind of ways to find out about what's going on. Big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. We appreciate you so much. Let's give appreciation to all of our volunteers. And wow, if we didn't know how amazing our volunteers were, that holistic healing fair or psychic healing fair was a great demonstration of how our folks, you all really show up. That was an amazing showing, so thank you. And our speaker today is the one and only beloved Reverend Mary Morgan. Yeah. And before we bring her forward, we'll have the wonderful, amazing our lead musician, Elise Carver, give us a song.
This song is called If You Make It So by Daniel Nahmad. You can look to the stars for your next encrypted clue. You can stand idly by, waiting for someone to tell you what to do. But you will wait and you'll hear nothing, and you'll be mystified as to what went wrong. But when you wait, I know that something will make you realize before too long that it is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it go. You'll know joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know that you and God alone will make it so. Sometimes it's hard to look inside and figure out what's going on. It can be hard to decide what is right for you and what is wrong. But after all, God created you and knows what you dream of getting out of life. And after all, it's not just a lucky few who will manage to see God's light. 'Cause it is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it go. You'll know joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know that you and God alone will make it so. Cause you've got the gift of life, and it's better to decide to make the most of every day. Just think yours is the gift of life. It's in your hands to do it right. All the while God knows the perfect way. 'Cause it is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it go. You'll know joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know that you and God alone will make it so.
Thank you, Elise. That was beautiful. How's everybody doing? You know, today my discussion is about letting your light shine. Did you wake up now we have bright lights in here. Did you wake up this morning and say, I'm letting my light shine? No? Well, let's try it right now. I am letting, allowing, and joyously doing and letting my light shine. Okay, do you feel different already? That's the way it is, isn't it? That's the way it is. I have the quote from St. Paul is that with God all things are possible. And I don't know if you ever think about that, but God being that higher presence that is not something that's out. It's the higher presence, there I am. It's the higher presence of what's inside right now. It's that higher sense of being that we each have every day. And when we did our meditation before the service, what we did is we focused on getting quiet. And what happens when we get quiet? Sometimes stuff bubbles up, things bubble up of things that we don't want to happen. But other times what bubbles up is, oh, that's right. I'm a child of God. I'm the expression of God. And all the goodness in the world is mine if I so accept it. And it sounds so funny to say that because if you walk outside those doors, a lot of times people don't believe that what we're doing, what we're creating in our experience is all created by what? Our belief system. It's created by our thoughts. And that our energy, of course, flows where our thoughts go. And that is true. But sometimes we let everything that's going on outside our life determine who and what we're going to be in life. I don't know about you, but sometimes if somebody says, you're this or you're that, or I can't do this or I can't do that, or whatever it is, we let that determine how bright our light's going to shine. And really, all those conditions and circumstances have nothing to do with who you are and who I am. It has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with, the light, is recognizing it. Did you ever notice that if you bought a red car, all of a sudden you see 1 million red cars on the road? Did you ever notice that? How about if you ever noticed your light, all of a sudden you see all the lights of everybody around you, or the lack of, right? Because sometimes there are folks that have not realized to turn on that light switch. I always say we're all lamps. Each and every one of us are lamps, and we're all plugged in, even though we don't know it, we're all plugged in. But some of us forget to turn the switch on. And I know for me, sometimes I want to go up to someone and say, hold still, let me turn that on for you. Right? We want to wake other folks up, but you know what? We have to start with waking ourselves up. We have to start waking ourselves up and becoming aware that, you know what? Not only with God all things are possible, but I am an expression of God, and that everything that I create in my experience is done first in thought and feeling and frequency, energy I'm putting there, and then next, then it comes into physical form. But a lot of times we don't make the decision to bring it into physical form. We can look and say there are no boyfriends or girlfriends out there, or there's no money in the bank, or there's no perfect weather for me, or I don't have the right vehicle, or whatever it is. We look at the conditions that we have and let it limit how much we're going to express in life. Does that make sense? Like sometimes we do that unconsciously, but we're the only thinkers in our life. We're the only thinkers in our life. And we choose to think what we choose to think. So if things aren't working out, we get to rethink it. Remember that a belief system is just basically a habit. It is a habit of an idea that we have accepted in our experience as the truth. But sometimes, have you ever noticed that sometimes you rethink something and you go, you know, I used to believe that, but I kind of don't anymore. I know, I always tell this story about stew. When I was a kid, I could not stand to eat stew because I didn't like the food mixed. I had to eat the potatoes over here and the vegetables over here and the meat over here. I could not have them mixed. It just drove me nuts. So I did not like stew. And then one time, my sister and I and a group, we were all camping. And we had been canoeing all day, and we could not wait to eat. And all we had was this can of stew. And I said, who brought that? And I go, it doesn't matter, we're going to eat it. Of course, it was kind of yucky, but at any rate, we were hungry, so we ate it, right? So sometimes you rethink things and go, oh, you know what, stew isn't so bad, or whatever it is, whatever it is. I think of childhood foods because sometimes we make a decision, oh, I hate broccoli, and now I love broccoli, or whatever it is, right? But the idea is that as we embrace our divine human, as we embrace the idea that, guess what, I came here literally to shine my light. I came here with a divine purpose. I came here to express who I am uniquely as myself, and you came here to express uniquely as who you are. And when the moment that we do that, you say, okay, now what? Because life isn't going the way I want to go. Some of the decisions I've made aren't so hotsy-totsy. Well, I want to get them back in point. Well, the very first thing to do is make a small step towards what it is you want to do. That's it. Make a small step towards what it is you want to do. And you say, but I don't know what step to take. Well, guess what? That's when we get still and we listen to that intuition, which is the voice of God, really. Listen to that intuition that says, go this way. And you may not even know what the heck you're doing, but you go that way, and then guess what happens? Synergy happens. Serendipity happens. One thing leads to another, and you meet this person that's going to introduce you to that person, or this thing's going to do that. If you allow yourself to be guided by that inner guidance rather than everything that's out there, right? There was a billboard today when I got off the 110 freeway, and it's Dolly Parton, and she says, love the good in everybody. I'm like, thanks, Dolly. And then I'm driving behind a truck, and the initials were PRC. And I kept saying, perfectly reoccurring conditions of good. I ended it with good. So, but think about it. We could go along all day long and do affirmations or create visions for ourselves that kind of set the tone and set the path for ourselves, if we want to. Make your future dream a present fact. How is that building your light shining? Make your future dream a present fact. Now there's what I have and what I will have. And the moment that we put our energy on, to take it beyond what I do have and see it into the next vision, right? What happens? You all of a sudden feel energized and vibrationally lifted. Think about if you were going to create a painting, or some of us are decorating Christmas trees, whatever it is you're doing. It's not done yet, but you already have in your mind the vision of what it's going to look like. You're putting that creative energy into the flow, and the moment that you do that, all the forces of the universe come in to support you. Remember that every idea that we have is an instruction that we're giving to the creative spirit, the divine intelligence, that law of God in action that says, I am supporting you for everything that you're doing. It says, if you don't imagine yourself other than who you are, then you will remain the same. That sounds very elementary, doesn't it? If you don't imagine yourself other than who you are, you're going to stay the same. Now, many of us say, oh, I want change, but I want to stay like I am, but I want all this to go away. I want that to all change. Remembering that everything that comes into our experience is a result of our thought. And you go, oh, well, wait a second. I didn't ask for that. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. Well, somewhere in there was a request that you made to shift things a bit. And so they shifted. If things happen that constrict you, it's an opportunity to look at it and say, where am I being constricting in my thought? What is it that I need to let go of? Or who is it that I need to let go of that might be holding me back or stopping me or blocking me? And just pay attention to it. It doesn't mean they have to go away, but it means that it's a reminder to you to think higher and to lift yourself higher. The next step after you take a small step is let go of needing to have everything ready before you move on. Do you ever do that? Oh, everything will be fine once I get more in my bank account, or once I buy the house that I want, or once I get the car, or once I make the trip, or once I get the job I want, or once I do blah, 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 then I'll be good, then I'll be happy, then I'll be content with my life. But this teaching reminds us, you start with the idea. You start with the concept of where it is you want to be, not where you are, because where you are is a result of your thinking. So now you want to project it into, where do I want to go with my life? How am I letting my light shine? How am I being who I want to be? There's a story about a monastery, and there is a monk that is there, and it used to be a thriving monastery. But over the years, it started to dwindle, and now it's down to like 5 monks that are at the monastery. And it used to be thriving with people coming and kids having picnics and all kinds of great things happening. And it started to stop. Everything started to go away. So all the monks conferred and said, boy, we've got to do something. What is it we can do? We're just, what happened to us? So the master monk decides, well, there's a rabbi on the property. He's at the end of the acre. Let's go, I'm going to go visit him, talk to him. So he goes to the rabbi and has a discussion with him and says, we used to be this great thriving monastery with all kinds of activities and energy, and it's not happening right now. And the rabbi goes, I know, I encounter the same things with other folks as well, including my own. And he said, there's not really anything I can do. So they sat together and they just had tea and they cried. And they said, yeah, it's terrible what's happened. Isn't this a shame? And the monk, it's time for him to leave, and he says, wow, okay, well, I came here for an answer, but I guess you couldn't give me an answer, but I thank you for commiserating with me and taking time to be with me. And as the rabbi is shutting the door, he goes, oh, one more thing. I just want to let you know that at the monastery, one of you is the Messiah. And he closes the door. And the monk's walking back to the monastery and saying, one of us is the Messiah. So he's like, what the heck does that mean? So he walks into the monastery, and the other monks are coming by going, what did he say? What did he say? What's the key? What's the key? What can we do? What can we do? And he goes, he didn't really give me any suggestions, but you know what he did say? He said that one of us is the Messiah. And they all looked around at each other, and they're like, well, couldn't be Brother Elrich, because he is a slug. He just doesn't come. But actually, when you need him, he really comes through. And it couldn't be Brother James, because he's always lost in meditation and doesn't really interact with us. But maybe that meditation is bringing a positive energy, and maybe he's it. Oh, it's probably the master monk, because he's so wise and knows so much more than most of us. It's probably him. Although he always defers to his students for things as well. So they begin pondering. But as they begin pondering, they begin treating each other differently. Like, wow, if you're the Messiah, I better straighten up and fly right. I better be nicer, I better be kinder, I better be less judgmental of you. I better be open and receptive to what you have to share and listen to what you have to say. So as they do that, their relationships start to grow and they start to build. And, not a surprise, all of a sudden, the neighbors start to come around again. And they start to picnic on the grounds, and they start to be a part of it, and the monks go out and interact around them. And they're like, well, if one of us is the Messiah, maybe one of them is the Messiah. Who knows? Because now they're part of us. So everybody starts to treat each other like the lights that they are. And the whole energy shifts and becomes attractive and attracts in that highest good. So the idea is to know, one of you is the Messiah. One of you is the Messiah. And what would happen if we all treated each other as though you are this brilliant light of being, and I thank you for all your wisdom and all the things you have to offer me. Now, many times, we may say that to somebody in the room here, but then we go out into the food store, and that guy that took the last pineapple that we wanted, he's not light and buoyant, is he? But we have to take that energy and that thing with us everywhere that we go. And the moment that we do that, everything shifts. Why? Because our focus becomes not on what's not working, but on what is working. And it brings us into that higher sense of being, especially right now at Christmas time. This is such a crazy time, isn't it? It can be high spirits, and it can be stress factor 9 because you're worrying about this, that, or the other thing. Or everybody just got over Thanksgiving dinners, and that could be stress factor 9, or it could be fun, right? It could be either or. But it's where we put our energy that happens, right? It's where we put our energy that what's happened. Life creates situation that'll push you to your edges, all with the effect of removing what's blocked in you. Think about that. The things that come in and irritate the daylights out of us, they're just here to help us heal what's not working in our life. That's all it is. And you can thank them and bless whatever it is and say, thank you for making me mindful of where I need to shed some more light in the situation and bring some more energy into the situation. And the moment that I do that, everything shifts. If your mind is full of ideas that no longer serve you, the ones that will serve you can't get in. Right? Because you're so busy and preoccupied with all the stuff that's not working, the stuff that is working can't get there. You know, there's that saying, be still and know that I am God. Dr. Tom Costa had a great thing, and he broke it down, and he said, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. If you break that down, it creates an interesting frequency energy in our being if you try it. So try it when you go home. Just break down that be still and know. And take it into your body and know that it's making a difference. We're faced with one task, and that's to move our ideas from the restrictive to the open. And the moment we move to the open, it doesn't mean that we have to know what's going to happen, but we have to be available to the goodness. Now, we may all say that we want goodness, but sometimes some of us like to marinate in the negative. Oh, she's such a pill. Have you heard what she said? Or whatever it is, however we talk, right? Whatever smack talk we're doing. Some of us like to marinate in that because it just feels, and then you get other people on board. Yeah, you know, you're right. And now all of a sudden you're all going that direction, and it ain't the direction you were meant to go. The direction you were meant to go was up here, right? But sometimes we just want to grouse about the things that aren't working. And I don't know, there's something so rewarding about that sometimes. I don't know about you, but sometimes complaining is so fun. You know, it's just so fun. You just, and another thing. Why I oughta, you know? And you get in that way, and that's where we go. And then you got 5 people, you know, you're right. You are right. I should have thought of that. And I thought, oh gosh, now we've all gone down the rabbit hole, right? So we can come out of that rabbit hole too. We can come out of that rabbit hole. Now I know. You know how sometimes things come to you and you don't know why they came to you? So this morning, my brother-in-law sent me this thing. I like rabbits. I do like them. And he always teases because I always use the rabbit hole example. But I do like rabbits. Well, get a load of this. I always wonder, where in the heck do the rabbits go in the winter? Because they got 10 inches of snow in Chicago on Saturday, so they got a lot, and they're getting more. And I thought, what happened? Well, guess what? He sent me this article that there's the grass, right, that's, you know, dormant now in the winter. And then there's the snow. And they said a lot of times the rabbits live in between the 2 layers because the snow actually keeps the heat in. And it acts like a boundary and protects them rather than going in their hole because the ground gets really cold underneath. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? So the metaphor is that, you know, sometimes we'll have conditions that'll really restrict us or we'll feel stuck in certain ways. And then there's the ground, and that's kind of unforgiving and frozen. So we can't go there. We can't go back to our old thought, and here's the new stuff oppressing us. But if we go within, and let that nurture us. Let that take care of us. Let that be that energy that we take in. It totally takes care of us. It totally gets us to where we need to go and stay warm and stay in that good space. So the essence is, if we let conditions control the way we respond to life, then the way we respond to life is going to be limited. But if we let conditions wake us up to who we are and where we need to heal, rather than controlling us, then all we do is we're like, oh, thank you, and the light bulb goes off and we go that way and we make a new decision based on the things that we don't want to restrict us. And then all of a sudden, we're in that field of that law of attraction or that mental equivalence or whatever it is we want to call it, that says, I am now attracting what I desire, not what I don't desire. You get that? I do. I mean, I was kind of going, you know what, you're the only one that's directing your life. We create through our belief system. If there is a need, there is an answer. Already infinite, and already infinite mind is on its way to you. If you have a need, and you put it out there, and you absolutely say, I know that the law of mind and action, God, I know that spirit, divine intelligence is responding exactly to what I need, what I know, where I need to be, it will happen. It will absolutely happen, as long as you stay the course and stay the energy of going, I trust in the flow of life. So it's time to empower yourself. It's time to say, I am the light. I am the being. I'm going to share this little poem with you that I love. I think I've shared this before, but I just love this poem. The next time you refuse to sing because you'll never fill a stadium, or decline the joy of dance for fear of looking ridiculous, or resist risking a new adventure because you're not entirely ready, or you dim your shine because you're not completely healed and whole. The next time you hold yourself suspect because you're not entirely qualified, just remember, a bird doesn't sing because it's talented. A bird sings because it has a song. The moon doesn't only shine when it's whole. It can show up with a single sliver of itself and still light an entire night sky. Show up, sing, shine. The world needs you just as you are. And so it is. There we go. Yay. All righty, we're gonna be blinded by the lights here, right? We're all gonna be so shiny, shiny. And now we're gonna have Elise sing another beautiful song for us.
Thank you. Let's see if I can find it. That is the question. All right. This song is called I Allow Spirit. And it's one that I wrote.
I allow spirit to move in me. I allow spirit to set me free. To set me I allow spirit to move in me.
This is the time of the sharing of our treasure. And so I invite you to take your gift in the palm of your hands and please affirm with me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I released my gift with love. And so it is. Great. Are you ready for a little guided meditation? We keep going back to the same meadow, but I like it. I told Vincent before the service that the other day I was looking online and there was a picture of exactly what I keep seeing in my mind. I thought, there are no coincidences, are there? So it's a meadow, and then there was a little brook, and then there was a forest right there. I'm like, oh gosh. I think I took a picture of it. I'll have to look for it, but it was very cool. I thought, okay, the universe is saying, I like where you're going. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath in. And if you can, uncross your arms and legs. And just allow the chair to support you as we take this little journey. And in this journey, I want you to look down at your feet in your mind's eye. And you can see it, your feet, if you can, see them without shoes on. See them as bare feet. And your feet are very protective, they're not sensitive, everything's going great, and all of a sudden you take a step into this meadow. And it is a beautiful meadow. And it's a meadow that you can see as far as the eye can see. And the grasses are about knee-high. And it's dappled with flowers. And the temperature is absolutely perfect. There's this gentle breeze, and the sun is shining. And there's all sorts of little birdies moving in and out of the meadow, and little butterflies. And you can smell the sweet fragrance of the grass and the flowers. And you look up at the sky, and it's a blue sky with beautiful puffy clouds. Just perfect day as you're walking. And you have this real sense of peace in your body. And as you're walking through the meadow, there's a beautiful stream. And there are those 6 familiar little stones across that stream. And as you step on each one, it perfectly holds your foot. And you can feel the spray of the water on your feet, and it feels so refreshing and good. Slowly you walk over this stream onto this beautiful grassy shore bank. And you look up, and there is this beautiful, enchanted forest right there, with a perfect little path for you to follow. And as you follow into this forest, you look up, and you can see the trees just slowly bending to the wind. You can hear the rustle of the pine and the rustle of leaves. It's a mixture of all kinds of trees. And you look on the branch, and there's an owl speaking to you, and as you walk, there's deer in the distance, and they come forward. All kinds of little critters in the forest, welcoming you in to this nature. And you feel enveloped by this enchanted forest. It feels like home, and it smells so fresh. And as you slowly walk, you come to a clearing. And there is a familiar little bench that you sit on, and it's carved out of a log, and it fits you perfectly. And it is just wonderful. You sit down, and you look up, and in this circle you see these giant redwoods. These beautiful trees that go on forever, 80, 90 feet high, 100 feet high, covered with moss and ivy, and there's all sorts of animals flitting about. And you realize that this forest is just teeming with life. Life that you may not have noticed until you paid attention. And you look up, and here comes this beautiful being of light. And she's walking towards you. And the energy feels very familiar. And you greet each other. And the being sits down with you. And you're both just looking up at the redwoods, smelling the air, feeling the loamy soil beneath you. And it feels so relaxing. And with that, you look over at this beautiful higher being, and she hands you a light. And understanding that, she's letting you know this is your light. This is the light you came here to shine. And you hold out your hands. And look at this light. Take a moment to just focus on how bright it is, how it's impossible to extinguish it. And she reminds you, there are times that you've tried to extinguish that light, that you've settled for things that were maybe less than you wanted, or less than who you were or are. And she says, but always keep your focus on that light and know that that light extinguishes anything that is unlike its brilliance. And you can make it so by your thought, by your energy. And that thought creates an energy frequency that sustains that light. And there's no one or nothing that can ever put it out other than you. So she reminds you that this brilliance is who you came here to be. And not only that, the moment you accept that brilliance, all of a sudden you can see with such clarity, with such understanding. You can see other things because it illuminates everything around you. And that is an empowering state of being. To recognize not only your light, but the light in all that you see. Because the light in all that you see is really the oneness of each and every one of us. So she invites you to take this vision of this light and bring it to your heart. And know that it's always there. Feel what that feels like now to be illuminated by this powerful light energy and this lightness of being. There's no need for the heaviness, for the feeling of challenges, for the feeling of less than, for the feeling of lack in any way. You've got this light in you that can conquer anything. Anything. There is no challenge too great. And as you bring your hands down, you take the hands of this being and you feel that energy that you share together. And she reminds you that this is your higher self. that is accessible at all times. And you feel this overwhelming sense of love and acceptance, of goodness and kindness and centeredness and wisdom and wellness on all levels. And as she stands to leave, she reminds you, you can call on her at any time. She is always with you. It is the higher self of being. And you both stand and say goodbye and farewell for now. And you take one last look at these redwoods and remembering that they are all connected by their root system underground. And there is a synergy to their connection. They all support one another, and they are all one root system that they share, which is a perfect metaphor for you to know of your connection with all of life. So slowly make your way down the path through the forest. There are deer, and there are squirrels, and there's a little possum over there, a little skunk. There's some raccoons running. And there's the wise owl on its branch watching over. And you say goodbye to the enchanted forest for now as you step out to the little bank of grassy area and walk across those 6 beautiful rocks that are in the brook. And into the meadow you are with that lovely feeling. And you feel lighter. You feel inspired. You feel clear and centered. And slowly, as you make your way back into the room, you look down at your feet. And now your shoes are back on. And you're back in this room. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, welcome back. Did you have fun? Did you feel your higher self there? Anybody share that at all? What you felt? No? Everybody's pretty quiet. They're like, no, we're still zenned out. Is that what it is? Well, this is also the time of prayer treatment. If anybody is requesting a prayer, I am here. And so, Miss Beverly, what would you like to share? Oops, hold on for the microphone. Vince is getting his steps in.
Thank you. I love Let Your Light Shine.
Yeah.
This morning, my son has a very good friend, and his name is Michael.
Okay.
And he's been in this abusive relationship so long, and he finally says, I'm done, and I call it the dark night of the soul. Mm-hmm. And when you said, let your light shine, I know he has his light. So I love prayer support, Robert and Michael.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. And we're knowing that this prayer is for Robert and for Michael. And I'm going to say it in the first person because there's only one mind, and it's the mind of God. And so this is what I know. Divine Spirit, creative intelligence, that essence of me is the oneness that I feel. I am linked forever to this creative power that created me and knows my best and highest good. So right from this moment, I decide to stand in my power, to stand in my light, to trust that light illumines the way for me for the next step to take in my life. I know that there is nothing I need to do other than know this truth. Know that I am guided, protected, and directed every step of my way. And that loving, kind, compassionate, wise light guides me to standing in my own light and standing in my own power. I now see with new eyes. I see my future and my present as one that is loving, is kind, is respectful, is honoring, and knows its boundaries as well, and knows how to set boundaries as well, and knows how to come from a place of worthiness and acceptance and confidence. I let go of all fear. I let go of all feeling that I am in lack or limitation, and I accept in my experience this goodness of life that reaffirms to me my light shining. And so I am grateful. I'm grateful for this awareness. I'm grateful for the challenges that I feel that wake me up to becoming who I truly came here to be. And I'm grateful for the knowing that God is the power in my life. And so I release this into the law of mind. That is the God in action, operating right here and now, creating my divine experience. And I let it be so, and we say together, and so it is. Okay.
First of all, I'd like to say that you're truly magnificent today.
Thank
and
you.
I thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
The other thing is Deb is a member of our church,
Yes.
has been in the hospital. Some of us have visited. The church has been wonderful to her. She went to a second hospital to get a surgery, which they're now postponing, so she's home. And she is a wonderful person. So could we pray for her?
We're going to know for health. How about for that? Anybody else in here dealing with health issues? Yeah. Okay, so let's just know. Kenneth, did you want to say something, or you want to pray? Pardon me?
You want me to go ahead?
Do you have another prayer request? Yes. Well, can we deal with this one first, and then we'll deal? Well, go ahead and say yours. We'll combine them. Pardon me? Pardon me? Okay. Okay. All righty. So this prayer is for Debbie, and we're also knowing it's for each and every person that is dealing with any kind of health issue. And that's mental, physical, or spiritual health issue. The power of God is the only power that I know. It is the greatest power that there is. It is the creative power that created me. All that God is, I am. The divine nature of God is my nature. The divine health of God is my health. And the divine wisdom of God is mine. I am knowing perfect body, perfect realization of health and healing happening now. I let go of anything that might have been stopping or blocking that realization of perfect health from showing up. I know that all the hands of the doctors, all the hands of the nurses, all the hands of those that help, even the medicine that I take orally, is all God in action, helping and assisting and bringing into reality a new expression, an expression of life, an expression of health, an expression of complete perfection in my body, right here, right now. I breathe in and rest on this truth. I absolutely know this and see beyond the clouds of whatever might be restricting my perfection of health from realizing. And in its stead, I know this truth. And I let it be that the power of God knows exactly what it's doing So I keep my mind open and receptive, guided and protected by all things leading to my complete health, right here, right now. This is the truth of my being, and I am so grateful for it. I'm grateful for all that help me. I'm grateful for all that surround me with love. I'm grateful for all the wisdom and the expertise that bring me back into this perfect health expression. God's in charge, and I know this, and I let it be. I accept this right here and now and know it is my truth, and I let it be so, and we say together, and so it is. We're set? Okay. All righty. Are you ready to have a fantastic day? The rest of it? Yes. It's already kind of half over. It's kind of half over, isn't it? I've been up since 5, so I think it's like half over, right? Not really, but... All right, well, thank you all for being here. Thank you for investing in your spiritual well-being, and we're knowing goodness and light follow you, and go let your light shine. All right, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.